Welcome to the Banter, episode 2. I'm Timmy.
I'm Jimmy.
And we're here today to talk about the Vancouver Canucks. Alright.
Canucks.
So as a Flames fan, you gotta understand that we are gonna have a little fun with this, okay? But we will also be as impartial as possible. Alright? So season expectations. What did you expect out of the Canucks at the beginning of the year?
On paper, I was actually kind of scared.
Yeah,
I'm not really surprised how far they went. They had a good team on paper, good solid defense. I'm not surprised how far they went.
At the beginning of the season, yeah, you know, I really thought that they would challenge Calgary for the division title. Well, there was no challenge. They took the league, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, at the beginning of the season, I didn't expect them to be the league's best team in the regular season. You know what I mean?
No, by all means, I did not expect them to be the league's best team. I did expect them to make a deep playoff drive, though.
Yeah. Which I thought for sure would come to an end at Chicago, but anyways. Yeah,
It came to an end.
you know,
So for timeline, it is Wednesday night.
Canucks just lost.
Canucks just lost.
Woo!
0 Boston.
Go Bruins!
Boston, Tim Thomas. Good hard game played there,
Yeah.
boys.
But
Thank
okay,
you.
back to the C. You know, at the beginning of the season, you know, last year, Luongo was the captain. You know, which, you know, your opinions about that, whatever, right? Like, oh, you want to make a goalie captain, whatever. Then I think Marty Brodeur should have been the captain of New Jersey years ago.
Your Canucks.
But, yeah, you're going to do things differently.
Whatever.
So, you know, do you think, you know, having Roberto Luongo strip himself of the C, you know, step down from the captaincy to say, you know, as they said, when they really, you know, they told him, fucking give it up, bud, you know, we don't want you to be the captain next year.
This isn't working out. You can't talk to the refs.
Do you think that was right, you know, the way that it was all handled? You know, or should Roberto Luongo been able to, you know, if he wanted to be captain, be captain?
Whatever. That's their office working. The way I see it, though, they picked the wrong man to replace him.
Oh, most definitely, eh, Sedin?
Yeah.
Just because he had a fucking Art Ross trophy?
Yeah. And nothing. Well, he is one of the sisters, so I do got something against him. I'm gonna be honest. But I mean, he's a good hockey player with his brother there.
He missed a few games this year, and he ended up with 84 points.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but he's not a vocal player.
no, I don't
That's
think he's
the
captain
thing.
material.
I don't think he controls that locker room.
No, most definitely not.
I think
Kessler?
Kessler, yeah, for sure.
Most definitely Kessler.
Yeah, Ryan Kessler.
Even, you know, I hate to say it, I think he's a goon, but Bielska.
Bielsa, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, those could have been others.
But those two right there, those would be the first ones that pop in mind. Sedin, you know, just because he won that trophy and shit, I really don't see him being a captain material, right?
He was good as a captain because he could lead by example.
But he's not like, I
see
really don't see these two players, the Sedins, I really don't see them as anything without one another.
Nope.
You know, you get the injury to the one and the other one just kind of fades off. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We had a good season though, you can't argue nothing about that.
Well, they had a good season, but like I said, man, if you have these two kids on two separate teams, man, good night, Irene. I would be...
And they knew it from the get-go. They said they would only play in the NHL if they play on the same team.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, whatever.
Yeah. So Vancouver rides the momentum of, you know, the fucking Hart Trophy, the fucking, you know, all that shit. And the Olympics, you know, the Olympics last year, you know, it was a big, you know, whoever has the Olympics, whatever Canadian city has the Olympics, ends up winning the cup the next season, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, they have all this momentum, you know, fucking Bobby Lou over there with fucking, you know, Team Canada winning the gold medal and shit, you know. I really don't think Roberto Luongo had
honestly,
much
Marty
to do with
Brodeur should have stayed in his net, or whatever. I think Marc-Andre Fleury should have been in there.
I think Marc-Andre Fleury should have been put in that as well. Yeah, if it wasn't in
He would
Vancouver.
have settled down. And I mean, everyone's like, oh, we won us gold, he did us good. Nah, fuck that. When you got Seabrook, fucking Shea Weber, Duncan Keith, Rob
Niedermeyer, Doughty,
all you gotta do is stop the initial shot and it'll clear the zone for you.
Yeah.
Like, any goon can play that.
Yeah. And I really don't think that Roberto Luongo, you know, really was the guy that fucking brought us gold medal. You know, it was the team all together, you know.
Yeah.
But like Luongo, you look at him in that gold medal game, he wasn't that fucking...
It was a shutdown defense and a hard hustling forward.
He was shaky, most definitely. So, you know, but either way, he did end up getting gold. He was the fucking starting goaltender. Yeah. So he rides that momentum. You know, Kessler gets silver, right? So he should ride on that fucking momentum. Yeah. Right? So, you know, that takes them into the season. They take the momentum and, you know, quite honestly, they use the fucking momentum, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, you know, they use that momentum to own the season, and they did own the season. Yeah. You know, you can
argument that.
You know, they had a backup goalie that fucking, you know, played in 25 games. You know, Roberto Luongo was only pulled twice this season. In the regular season. 2 times, right? You know, we didn't get to the playoffs, that's a whole other story, but like 2 times he only got pulled.
Playoffs, you know, Bobby Lou. Shake you under pressure.
Yeah. And it goes back to, you know, watching him in the Olympics, and, you know, you see him now, you know, how shaky he gets under pressure, right? So, like, fucking, I don't know, you get that, and then they get into the playoffs, they fucking roll their way into the playoffs. Now, you know, quite honestly, that's what we do want to talk about here. You know, Vancouver and the playoffs, right? Like, you know, they ruled the season. There's nothing to say about it. They had another fucking leading scorer in the league, and the other Sedin twin, you know, Daniel, and fucking, you know, Kessler and fucking Daniel both scored 41 goals. I mean, that's impressive all on its own, right? To have 2 different 40-goal scorers on your team. Not bad.
Oh, for sure. That's good play. Yeah. Again, there's nothing wrong with their season. It was the lack of production.
They have 5 players. They had 5 players that fucking, you know, were 50-point plus players on their team.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, I mean, come playoffs when it all matters.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, that's the thing. Well, we'll get to the playoffs here. Right. You know, the curse of Chicago. Yeah. They go in. Yeah. It's Chicago first round. You know, and quite honestly, I didn't expect him to get by shot.
They almost lost it.
I didn't expect him to get by shot. When they went up 3-0, I was like, okay, you know what? Vancouver might just roll over the entire playoffs. Yeah. If they can fucking sweep Chicago, it's over. Yeah. It's over. Van's gonna fucking win it all, man. Everyone. They'll win it all. There's no stopping them, man. No fucking stopping them whatsoever, right?
No. I mean,
but you know, Chi-Town came back. You know, they got cocky. Van got cocky, they got a little complacent, and fucking, you know, Chi-Town was able to come back, and Vancouver got lucky and won in Game 7.